on the line, you can't fold and you can't bend. Y'all be playing it safe and I be going for the win. Remember back when they was doubting on the kid. Now they tuned in cause my game too legit.
What is going on, Headliner Nation? Jake and Kyle coming back at you today talking about overall rankings. Kyle, we've gone through all the positions by now, and now it's time to mush them all together. It's time to just smash it all together. So here is the top 36 overall players for 2021 fantasy football. We're not going to waste a whole lot of time. We're going to get into the rankings like every video, though. We're going to set that like goal for you one more time. 1,500 likes. We'll give away a draft guide to somebody who leaves a comment down below, so make sure you do that now. It's free to do. So, Kyle, let's head over here to the rankings. I'm going to throw them up on the screen, and I'm going to throw 12 of them up at a time, 1 through 12, coming up on the screen here right now. And what are some things that stand out to you at first glance?
Listen, and don't forget, we have dropped all of our positional rankings already. So if you're wanting a little bit more of a deep dive into those guys, obviously go check out the individual rankings. And we've done videos on a lot of these guys already this season that are individual breakdowns as well. So don't forget, if you're just kind of coming back in, getting ready for fantasy football, binge watch, set a day aside and start from all the videos. We do videos all season long, all off season long. We don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. We're like that stuff after you get back from Vegas.
We're like herpes.
You just don't. We can't get rid of us.
That's right. You just can't get rid of us. It's like herpes. But you know what? We've been doing daily episodes for the last 3 months straight. So if you need it, it's on the channel. Go find it right now. So here we go, Kyle. 1 through 12.
We talked about it in running backs already. I mean, running backs and wide receivers, we were really, really close on several guys. I mean, like our first 4 wide receivers are the same, but you know us here at the Fantasy Headliners, we love our running back. So like you don't see a wide receiver make an appearance until we hit 7, where I've got Devontae Adams and Jake has got him at 8. And then we both have Tyreek Hill in the same spot. And then I've got Stephon Diggs at 12, where you've got Austin Eckler. So again, that top 12 for us is loaded with running backs because you want those guys. Jake just did has done so many videos this offseason with a lot of deep diving stats. But I mean, he has really broke down in several videos why it is so important to draft your running backs early. And it's the same thing for us. You've got Cook, McCaffrey, Henry, the first 3 for us. All these guys, we know they're going to get volume. With Cook and McCaffrey, you know they're going to get catches. But Jake has already went out there and showed you the whole they don't catch passes thing is nothing to worry about. So I've got Chubb at 4. And then Jones I've got there. Kamara's at 6 for me, and Jake's got Kamara at 4. So we're very, very close on all of these. The one name that may surprise some people that's kind of trickled in here to the top 12 is Ezekiel Elliott. We've got him, Jake at 7, and I have got him at 9. The dude is just far too talented, though, for us to just completely dismiss him being a guy that has been basically a top 12 player every single year in the league, except for last season. The offensive line is healthy. Dak Prescott is back. He is a guy that looks like he really this offseason worked on getting back in shape. I expect him to get back here until the top 12.
The only reason Zeke's a couple spots even this low for me is the news about Dak Prescott and his shoulder MRI. If everything is 100% good to go and Dak Prescott is a clean bill of health, I'll move Zeke back up into that 5 range. That's how much I like Zeke with the offensive line and with a healthy Dak Prescott. But you hit it on the head, right? Running backs early. And I'm not going to go into too much depth because we have here in the past, but one stat that I want to make sure that everybody knows, and it just rings in my head. If you do not select a running back in the first 2 rounds, your chances of landing a top 12 running back decrease by 66% if you do not draft him.
Jake.
Preaching to the choir here, Kyle. I mean, this is what it is.
Hallelujah. Welcome to the house of the headliners.
That's right. Be a banger of a stat right there because I want top 12 running backs. I want multiple top 12 running backs, but if I don't get them early, I'm not going to get them, or I have a very slim chance of getting them. So that's why you see so many running backs, especially in my overall top rankings here. And maybe it's a little bit bottom loaded with some wide receivers, but that's just because all the talent at the running back position is in these earlier picks. So Kyle, how about I bring up number 13 through 24 now?
Woo! Bring them up.
All right, here we go. 13 through 24. What do we see?
The one thing is Travis Kelsey's making an appearance here at number 15 for you and number 17 for me. Again, do we love the idea of taking Travis Kelsey in the first round? No, because again, we want our running back in the first round. Are you going to get Travis Kelsey outside the first round? Probably not, unless you're playing in like an 8-team league. I mean, his ADP right now is essentially putting him anywhere between like the 6th pick and the 8th pick. He might go a little bit lower in some leagues. He might end up, honestly, especially if it's like a tight end premium league where the tight ends get extra points, could go higher than that. But we've got him right here in this 15 to 17 range. I think that's a good idea for him because essentially he is a wide receiver one, just at a thinner position. So do I want to use a first round pick on him? No. Would I use a second round pick on him if I already got my running back and there isn't anybody there that I'm like, okay, I got to hit draft right now? No, I'm good with him right here, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's because we pretty much have our top 12 guys already off the board before we get to Travis Kelce. You can see a few more wide receivers start to trickle in. For myself, you see Stephon Diggs and DK Metcalf, DeAndre Hopkins here, even Darren Waller showing up at number 22 for me. Darren Waller, am I crazy, Kyle, that I don't think the gap between Kelce and Waller is as big as some people think, because the volume that Waller's going to get in that offense is huge. And now we're starting to see training camp videos of Bryan Edwards, and we're waiting for Henry Ruggs. That is a good thing, because even though they may require some targets, they're going to also require more defensive attention, leaving Waller in the middle of the field by himself.
The only reason that I would say we're careful about Waller right now is because he hasn't really done anything yet. And the Raiders have been really hush-hush on why. There hasn't been like, he's injured, or, he's dealing with this. Part of me believes that this is a holdout. Like, it's kind of one of those things where the Raiders are saying, we're not going to say that you're a holdout, but if you really want to get a deal done, he's looking for more money. Maybe something like that behind the scenes might be going on with them. But that's the only, he hasn't practiced yet. So what's going on? Why isn't he? When is he going to get on the field? It's just one of those things where I'm kind of being careful with him right now. For me personally, I've said it over and over again this season. If I can't get Travis Kelce in the second round, which you're probably not going to anyway, the sweet spot for me is TJ Hawkinson in that 5th round, where kind of his ADP falls right now. So I've actually been out on Darren Waller, whereas the last 2 years, I called the breakout 2 years ago. Last season, I told people not to worry about it. He's going to be a dominating tight end again, and he was. This year, though, because he still hasn't practiced, I am a little worried right now.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. You pay attention to it, right, and really take it at the time of your draft. At the time of your draft, what information do you have? And then you make your best case scenario from there. All I know is when he's on the field, it's balls to the Waller all the time.
To the Waller.
Absolutely. We see
Naji Harris coming in at number 24 for me. You've got him extensively higher at number 14. Now, the reason I've got Naji Harris a little bit lower is just because when I look at the guys that are in front of him, the AJ Browns, the Metcalfs, the CEH, the Wallers, the Robinsons, the Ecklers, the Kelseys, the reason I've got those guys in front of him right now is just the upside, right? We talked about it in the running back video. He's going to be a guy that's probably going to be very, very safe on a weekly basis, but because of how bad that offensive line is and how much they like to throw the ball, there's just some weeks where I feel like that upside isn't going to be totally there. So when we start to get into this area, when I look at these guys, if I've already got my locked in stone RB1, I might be taking a guy that's maybe a little bit higher upside than Naji Harris right here.
And for me, it's all about how many running backs on a yearly basis are going to have that potential for 300 plus touches. If they have that 300 plus touch potential, they're going to find their way pretty high up my rankings, because you can't score without touching the football.
Naji Harris, if he gets 300 touches, is going to be a top 12 running back.
Easy.
I don't know if they give him 300 right off the bat, but I think maybe in a year or two we see him closing and going over that 300 threshold.
And if you think about it, even if he doesn't hit 300, what if he's in that neighborhood of 250 to 275, even because of that extra game? It's something where the talent is 100% there. The offensive line needs some work, but he's definitely somebody who I could see them utilizing him in a Le'Veon Bell-esque type of role in this offense.
Yeah. Again, I think it's maybe like next year that happens, but he's talented enough.
Quit crapping on my rankings, Kyle.
Do what?
Quit crapping on my rankings over there. We disagree, okay? Woo, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry,
You do
Kyle.
have Mixon higher than me, though.
I do. Because he's a running back who has 300 plus touch potential. Again, boom.
Lock it in. I am surprised. I've got Kelvin Ridley at 15, and I see him down at 23 for you. Ridley's just going to go off. But again, you've said it over and over again. There's a couple of guys in here that you just love the upside of that go in front of him. And then you've got those running backs in front of him again that are going to get all those touches, which you've explained. So that's really why there's a discrepancy there between those two.
Yep, 100%. Because as we go down the list here, even I'll go up here to 25 through 36. You're going to start seeing a lot more pass catchers on my side, where you're still going to be seeing some of those running backs that I had a level higher than Kyle, where Kyle has David Montgomery in this range, J.K. Dobbins. I had those guys earlier, right? So that's the reason why all of a sudden you see my bottom 12 here, and you're seeing the likes of Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin, Justin Jefferson, George Kittle, Mike Evans, CeeDee Lamb, Chris Godwin, Robert Woods, all the wide receivers are making an appearance here for me because I just went so heavy running back early.
And we have, and just to kind of digress here for just a second, you and I do have a little bit of a philosophical difference when it comes to ranking. Like when you rank players, you're really talking about, this is where I'm ranking players in terms of where I want to draft them. Me, when I do my rankings, I look at them more in terms of if everybody hits the upside that I believe they potentially have, this is where they could end up falling. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for the people to see these two rankings next to each other and understand that you and I are ranking a little bit differently, because there's two just thought processes that go into it, and everyone's got a different thought process. So that's why those things change a little bit for us. When we get down here to 25 to 36, we see for me, two quarterbacks end up making an appearance here where Jake doesn't have them, because again, Jake's not touching a quarterback. And I'm not either, okay? I'm not drafting Patrick Mahomes at number 25 overall. Even if you paid me $100 to do it, I'm not going to do it. Why? Because I want my running backs there. But I also am saying if Patrick Mahomes hits his upside, he could end up falling within this range. But the difference between Patrick Mahomes here and maybe what I can get with a Ryan Tannehill 5 rounds later, I'll take Ryan Tannehill 5 rounds later and I'll draft a Darrell Henderson, a David Montgomery, a Terry McLaurin right here, because I feel like that upside is better than what I can get 5 rounds later from the same position.
Man, that was a proud dad moment for me right there. You basically just broke down my video about waiting on quarterback. I mean, I said, I have a tier. That was very well said, like you said. But here's what's great about it. And we mentioned this at the end of all the videos, how everybody does rankings differently and everybody doesn't agree, and that's cool. You can even see that somebody, when we've worked together for almost, 3.5 years now, we still don't agree on things 100%, and that's okay. Like, we're not supposed to always agree. That's what's perfect about this. But to see two quarterbacks on your side gives me slight anxiety, just throwing it out there, just because I worry about it. I just can't, it's not in my DNA to take them that early, not in a normal one quarterback league. But yeah, all the other options we have down here, super solid options. I mean, I know you've talked about Myles Gaskin in past videos. Justin Jefferson is somebody who we touched on in an earlier video in the wide receiver rankings that we're just kind of worried about the injury. We need to wait and see a little bit more to make sure he's good to go. That's why he's dropped down these rankings here quite a few spots. But outside of that, overall, the top 36 here is absolutely stacked. There isn't a bad pick in the top 36, Kyle. I mean, there's just not.
Your first 4 rounds, this is, even more than what I've seen in previous, like the first 4 rounds are just stacked this year. Like if you draft well and you luck out by not having any injuries, you could just absolutely nail your first 4 rounds with we have guys falling right now that are going to allow for you. You could potentially have 2 RB1s and 2 wide receiver 1s in your first 4 picks.
Yep.
That is how the draft is playing out right now, because we're seeing guys fall to certain areas, because we're seeing 3 to 4 tight ends going in the first 4 to 5 rounds. Mm-hmm. We're seeing a possibility of 3 quarterbacks going in the first 4 rounds as well. Maybe even 4 quarterbacks going in the first 4 rounds. It's allowing some guys to fall.
Yep, exactly. Now, we've said here on the past that it's really hard to win your season on draft day, but it's something you can lose. However, this may be one of the years where I can honestly say you could win your season on draft day. Because if you nail it right with, like you just said, and you nail two running back ones, two wide receiver ones, and then you still end up with a top tight end, I mean, you could literally be sitting pretty the entire season. So make sure you're paying attention to all these videos. Go over to the channel. If there's something you're looking for, I guarantee you you're going to find it over on our channel. We've been doing daily videos for months now, and we don't stop all year long to make sure you have all the updated information. Everything you need to be successful here this year, we have you covered over on the channel. Go browse. Go window shop a little bit. We got some cool thumbnails. If nothing else, go look at the thumbnails. They're pretty cool. You can look and see if you want to watch it just based off the thumbnail, right, Kyle?
Go to the channel and hit play all and just let this baby
sit there and veg.
Just let it roll.
Pour yourself a cold beverage, whatever it is of your choice. Sit back, put your feet up. If you want to sit there without a shirt or shorts on, that's your business. I don't want to see a picture of it, but whatever you want to do to get comfy, and just watch it on the big screen for a few hours. Get yourself set up to go here for this season. Looking forward to an amazing 2021 fantasy football season. Leave some comments down below, right? You got to hit that like button and leave that comment in order for us to give away a draft guide here pretty soon. Looking forward to doing that. Kyle and I will be heading back from Ohio, and we're going to have some fun things to discuss. Maybe we'll have some shorts here that we post here pretty soon, just so you guys kind of have a little behind-the-scenes type look at what we got to do here this past weekend. It was a lot of fun. So,
did you just tell the people for 1,500 likes, I'll send them a pair of signed shorts?
No, I don't think anybody wants him.
Game worn.
Hey, if anybody out there is interested in some game worn shorts by Kyle, he'll autograph it in silver Sharpie if we hit 1,500 likes. If you're interested, just let us know down below in the comments section.
I'll send you the ones I'm wearing right now. There's a hole in the crotch even.
That's disgusting. So hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your week. And for myself and Kyle, we'll talk to you later.